Alright people, the intro's too long for this. I'll assume you know the story by now. Timmy Boy blew platform purging for the most asinine of legalese jargon, and now we're gonna hear the lamest of nonsensical apologies go.
We're gonna dive headfirst into the shallow end with this next story about Eliza Blue, Chrissy Mayer, and all the stuff that's been going on over the past week. And we'll be as candid as possible. I'm sure we'll piss some people off. But we have this tweet from Chrissy Mayer. For those that aren't familiar, Chrissy Mayer is a comedian and she hosts a podcast called Simpcast. And she's been on the show, I think a couple times, right? It's been a couple times. We've had her on the show before. And so there's been some controversy related to a guest we had recently, Eliza Blue.
Yeah, that's putting it mildly.
And some censorship actions that she's been accused of, notably filing privacy requests against people who talk about her past work. And so here we have the story from Chrissy Mayer. She says, Eliza Blue got 4 of my YouTube videos removed for showing a fair and balanced doc trailer, which featured 3 to 5 seconds of her public, at the time now removed, World Star Hip Hop video. Must be nice to have the power to rewrite history, then gaslight Twitter and YouTube into accepting it. Now, I'll say this outright. I said previously I'm uninterested in this. And I'll kind of, I think this got to the point where literally right before the show, I saw this tweet and I'm like, okay, guys, you got me. All right. Like I'm starting to see and learn more. That's having me question what's going on if YouTube videos are getting pulled. And we're hearing that a bunch of people actually had YouTube videos getting pulled. And so this clearly is an abuse of the system to a degree that we've not seen for a while now.
Oh, is that how this works, Timmy Boy? Because it seems to me you care more about the platform where the purging takes place rather than the purging itself. Because when this happened to Jeremy and Brittany on Twitter, you didn't dare touch the story. Ian next to you pointed it out, and you didn't say a word.
I gotta say this. If someone got banned off Twitter or any platform for a reason other than violating the terms of service, that's a big deal and should be taken up and will be if it happened with the Twitter administration or the administration of the social network. But the personal stuff it's like, no offense, TMZ garbage. It's like National Enquirer. I mean, if you like it, oh God. But there's a lot we can build.
Questioning you.
I don't care if people care about this stuff. They're allowed to.
See? Not a thing. Oh, but the second this happens on YouTube, coincidentally the platform where you make a lot of money, now you suddenly claim to see the error of your ways.
It used to be in the early days of YouTube, there were attempts by political rivals to falsely flag and get people's content removed. And now it seems like we're seeing an uptick in this, particularly pertaining to Eliza Blue. The first thing I'll say is, as it pertains to the issues related to me personally, look, man, I say it a million times. I'm an arrogant shithead.
Yeah, that's the most honest thing he's said in quite a while.
And so don't come at me and yell at and scream in my face and think I'm going to bend the knee and do anything for you.
No one was screaming in your face, Tim. It was a super chat, and you were the one raising your voice at the camera telling someone to get the F out. It was your G4 Jack Murphy moment.
Get the out, Scroats McGoat. You can cancel right now and see you later. You will never wave money in my face and make me disavow anybody, especially someone I care so little about, Eliza Blue. She's been on the show 2 times. If you're going to cancel because I won't do what you say, you shouldn't have been here in the first place. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Oh yeah, that was you.
And I will tell everybody right off the bat, we had this person on the show that I don't care too much about. I don't follow her career. I don't know much about her, and I don't handle booking. We've had her on the show 2 times.
I don't know why he has to keep framing it in this way of, I don't care, and you don't handle the bookings. I'm assuming whoever does runs them by you, and you greenlight them to be on your show. Because you look rather schizophrenic to say you don't care, but they were on your show twice. What exactly made them a credible rebooking if you don't care? I'd imagine if you book someone again, there must have been something about them that either you or your audience must have liked about them to merit another round on your show. So this BS of, someone I care so little about, that doesn't pass the smell test. Clearly someone who works for you does.
But all of a sudden, we found ourselves inundated with, and I'm not saying, you guys got to be very careful, because when I said that there was a PR firm running like 50 accounts, everyone started claiming I called literally the millions of people who are watching these videos bots, and I never said that.
Oh, really? Well, let's take a look back then and see what you actually said. And specifically, pay attention to the chat.
But like the idea that people are going to come here and threaten, like, I will cancel my membership because you're not talking about someone no one ever heard of. It's like, dude, I get that you know who she is, but you know what's funny about Jack Murphy and Eliza Blue is that here's what happens. people ask questions about these personalities, and I know most people listening are like, I have no idea who these people are, and that's exactly it. We had about 40,000 peak concurrent viewers. We get 300 to 500,000 video viewers plus 100,000 on the podcast, and then about 1 million across the clips. And the people who watch have no idea what the people in the chat are talking about when it comes to Eliza Blue or Jack Murphy. In fact, John, do you know who Eliza Blue is?
The only reason I knew is because I saw you guys talking about it one time.
One time we mentioned
I never learned about her organically. No.
So what I think is going on, to be completely honest, is that the people who are claiming they hate her are actually probably a paid reputational firm to promote her. So that's why I brought this up last week. There are companies you can hire that will spam the internet to generate buzz and attention for you. There's no such thing as bad press. So when I see people like flooding our comments and saying things that aren't true, like I'm canceling my membership, I can see who's canceling the memberships. Like I own the website. And this past week, we have gained slightly more members than we normally gain. And it's probably because the guests we had on last week or whatever, and whatever. Jack Posobiec, maybe, he's a great personality. And so we gain several hundred per week, and we gain a little bit more than that on average. With people coming in claiming that they're canceling their memberships, maybe they are, but we're gaining more than they're being canceled. I think that many of these people, I think two things are happening. One, a lot of it's inorganic promotion of Eliza Blue. A ton of content flooding the internet, bringing up a personality no one's ever heard of, makes her instantly famous to even the likes of, 9-time Grammy nominee John Rich, who's not heard of her.
Oh, I pray that clip might live in infamy. Only Tim can humble brag about the reach of his shows, then one idiot and somehow look like a colossal idiot. Only Tim can sit there and go, yeah, those watching have no idea who these people are. Here's how many thousands of people watch across the various formats. I've got people super chatting me, telling me to address this person who's been on my show, right after claiming the chat has no idea who this person is, only to turn to his guest to ask, do you know who this person is? Yeah, I do, thanks to you. What an absolute geek.
Yeah. But we got some very gruesome, gruesome is maybe not the right word, but let's just say, people crossed the line with what they were sending to us and the images they were posting of people. Mm-hmm. Easiest way to get me to be like, I will not give you what you want. But here's what I have to say about this. There are a lot of people who are genuinely concerned about what we're seeing in terms of what Eliza Blue's done and her past work. And there's a big difference between those people and the very few people I am directly criticizing.
Oh, really, Tim? Is that so? Pray tell, is this before or after the internet went full rampage mode on you and showed you how full of BS you really are? Don't wuss out now with this pathetic Weasley distinction between the people in your chat who told you to address this creature you in fact platformed versus the ones who apparently sent you gruesome things, whatever that means. Which one of those two groups belonged to that ridiculously stupid PR stunt of an explanation you tried to pull? This to me is only making this worse, by the way. If he just said that, instead of that absurdly emotional outburst, he could have avoided all of this, but no, massive egos. It's funny he speaks on this now. If you look at his Twitter account a while ago, you can see Kroba and Rakita there taking the mickey out of this, saying he also got paid from the PR firms. Because if you claim the people who speak about her negatively are all paid off, and suddenly you do so as well, you just set yourself up for well-deserved, merciless ridicule.
The people who are posting just really awful photos and videos, sending awful things to us. And I want to make sure that people understand, because there's still this here's what I said earlier. Following the Project Veritas stuff, following, obviously the Crowder Daily Wire stuff, following these Republicans getting shot, I'm reading this. I have a source contact me. They say, we want you to read this letter, check this out. And I'm like, okay, well, we're going to publish this. And I'm reading this and I'm like, if all of this bad stuff is happening right now to various organizations and everyone's fighting with each other, that's it. Like infiltrate, destroy, right? You make divide and conquer. Yeah, I'm not going to be all about that, right?
Oh, well, that sounds very serious now, doesn't it? It's so serious, he addressed this on his Twitter account. Except not really, because several hours later, he posts this, claiming it's a joke. Yet several hours ago, as HB points out, and do check out his channel, he does really great stuff, that while Blue is still embroiled in yet more takedowns, Timmy Boy is engaging in Pac-Man level of gaslighting. If this is a joke, Tim, why are you addressing it on your show? Now we can skip this bit because it doesn't really mean anything.
My biggest concern with all of this is, obviously censorship is bad, but if I'm going to get distracted and personally aggrieved or whatever, and that means infighting will erupt that takes us off mission, we're being played.
By who? This has nothing to do with some grand conspiracy. No. This is all because of you. You platformed this person twice. You were the one who ignored your own chat, and you were the one who then smeared them. You are the reason for all of this drama. No one else, just you. You're the one who claims to care about censorship, but for some reason when it was on Twitter, you didn't care. But when it migrated to YouTube, then all of a sudden, you seem to care. You could have avoided all of this if you simply grew a pair of balls and addressed it maturely the first time around, instead of insulting your own audience, took some responsibility for those you put on your show, and stand by the principles you claim to have, instead of offering this mealy-mouthed apology that makes you look really, really sus. I'd imagine anyone paying attention to this story, if only because it's stupid and funny and worthy of ridicule, thinks this is nothing but a PR stunt called damage control. You know, I was going to end the video there, but Aiden sent me this a while ago. This is from Shane Cashman, the dude who wrote some 80,000-page love tome for that creature. Listen to this. We have encountered a gang of leeches here that suck at the skin of a machine they can't comprehend the full scope of because they're so lost in their own narcissism, the big head on this one. Or perhaps even worse, they are conscious of a symbiosis between them and the destruction orgy, carrying torches and pitchforks and masquerading through the internet, our perpetual trauma machine. These people are digital cannibals. They care more about their names getting lumped into stories the same way tumors grow in a body. They worship fame. The absolute arrogance of these cretins. Listen here, pal. If you post content on a platform where other people can see it and criticize you, you better be prepared to take it. If you're going to be this thin-skinned of an egomaniacal faggot and lash out at those who decide to call you on your BS, I'd suggest you perhaps try and find a different profession. And Tim posted this ridiculous meandering thread on Twitter a while ago, starting it off saying, I realized last night that there is a radical misalignment between my values and many of the largest culture warriors. Nowhere in that "oh please feel sorry for me" ramble does he address anything about censorship, which is what the entire point of this fiasco was all about. Clearly that's flown well over the beanie. So let me spell that out for you simply and crystal clear so this gets past your thick egos and even thicker skulls. You have a large platform and you claim to take a principled stance against censoring. If you're irresponsible with it and platform those who engage in silencing people, and you don't have the stones to admit you've played a part in elevating this person who's acting nefariously in a manner you claim to stand against, and not only are your principles nowhere to be found, but you lash out at your audience for pointing it out, you deserve every last scorching burn you get.